I'm not eloquent enough. I'm not techie. I'm too shy to be on camera. Everybody knows about this. What am I adding? These people are more qualified than me. Who am I to talk about this? If any of those thoughts sound familiar, you're not alone, because every single one of them came out of my mouth. Every time I said them, I stayed stuck, small, and safe. Hi, I'm Alberta, a life coach helping Christian moms feel called to more beyond motherhood, but keep delayed because of self-doubt and fear, build profitable businesses that are aligned to their calling and their family. Today, we're going to talk about where fear and doubt actually come from and how to deal with them in a practical way so they stop delaying the calling God placed on your life. Let's get into it. Over time, I've come to understand that fear and doubt are not primarily confidence problems. They're not skills problems either. At their core, they're identity problems. And it took a lot of reflection and a lot of honesty with myself to see it clearly. When we do not know who we truly are, and our sense of identity is placed on things like what we can achieve, what we can do, what other people think about us, how polished we look, anything that threatens those things suddenly feel terrifying. We fear criticism because deep down, we're not sure we can withstand it. We fear failure because somewhere along the way, we tied our worth to our results. And we fear visibility because if people really see us, we worry that we might not be enough. Many of us also hesitate because deep down within us, we believe the lie that says that we are the wrong person to do what God has placed on our hearts. When I look at my own journey and many women, I see the same fear appearing again and again. They might look different on the surface, but underneath, they all carry the same root. These are fears that keep so many moms stuck. We have the fear of criticism. In the back of our mind, we're thinking, what will people say? The fear of failure. What if I try and it doesn't work? The fear of visibility. What if people see the real me? Then the fear of rejection. What if they don't want what I have to offer? The fear of illegitimacy. Who gave me the permission to do this? And finally, one of the biggest ones, the imposter syndrome. Everyone else knows more than me. I am a fraud. But when you step back and you look at all these fears, they all point to the same question: am I enough? And this question keeps surfacing because we don't fully trust God. I said I trusted God so many times, but when time came for me to step up into my business, to get on camera, to put my voice out there, to charge for my gifts and the wisdom that God has given me, suddenly my language changed. I said things like, I need one more course, I'm not prepared enough, I'm not ready yet, I probably need more training. In the Bible, God appeared to Moses in the burning bush, and he gives him one clear assignment. He tells him to go to Pharaoh and lead the Israelites out of Egypt. And Moses' immediate response in Exodus 3:11 is, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? And a little later, in Exodus 4:10, Moses says, pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent. I am slow of speech and tongue. Moses starts listing all the reasons why he's not the right person. In essence, he's telling God, I'm not a good speaker. You should send someone else. And God's answer is very simple. In Exodus 3:12, God says, I will be with you. And that's it. God does not argue with Moses. He doesn't try to convince him about his skills. He simply says, I will be with you. In order for Moses to carry out this particular task, all he needed was God's presence. And that applies to all of us. We don't need more training, more preparation to feel confident. We just need God's presence. Moses still struggled with speaking, and his brother Aaron helped him communicate at first. The most important thing was Moses moved forward. He obeyed. Your calling doesn't need perfection. It just needs obedience. Every day you stay in fear, someone who needed you didn't hear from you. Right now, there is someone who needs what you carry. They need the wisdom you gain through your struggles. They need the faith you build during difficult seasons. They need your voice, your story, and the perspective God has given you. And fear keeps telling you to stay quiet. The enemy knows exactly what is at stake. He's trying to stop you from stepping into the calling that God has placed on your life. And one of the easiest ways is to make you doubt yourself so deeply that you never even begin. Fear does steal your time. Overthinking takes time. Avoiding the next step also takes time. Going back to prepare because you think you're not ready yet also takes time. But the real cost of fear is not just time. The real cost is impact. Because when you stay stuck, the people who needed what you carry never receive it. So what do we do instead? Here are a few things that genuinely helped me when I was afraid to send an email, press record, or just putting myself out there. Number one, speak the word out loud. There is something about speaking scriptures out loud instead of just reading them quietly in your head. When you speak it, your ears hear it, your spirit receives it, and it starts settling in your mind. So for example, if you get a thought of, I am not good enough, you counter it with, for God has not given me the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. And that is based on 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. And you don't say the word just once, you say it repeatedly until it settles in your heart. Number two, scripture-based affirmations. These are declarations rooted in what God has already said about you. Things like, I am chosen and called before I was formed, Jeremiah 1:5. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength, Philippians 4:13. I am created in God's image and equipped for every good work. That's 2 Timothy 3:17. And finally, the one who calls me is faithful and he will do it. 1 Thessalonians 5:24. So when fear starts speaking, you answer with the truth of God. Number three, you read back the promises God has already spoken over your life. That's something that has really helped me in my life. Whenever I feel like God is saying something to me, whether through a dream, a scripture that stands out for me, a sermon that seems incredibly specific, or a moment in prayer where something becomes clear, I write it down. I keep a record of those things. Whatever it is, I write it down just so I don't forget. And then where fear comes, when I start feeling discouraged or uncertain, I go back to that list and read those promises again. I remind myself and I remind God of what he said. It's a conversation between me and my Father. And I tell him, Lord, you told me this. You showed me this scripture. Because fear has a way of making us forget what God has already spoken. And alongside that, I keep a record of all the prayers he's already answered. Moments where he came through when I didn't know how things were going to work out. I always mark those moments with a little emoji just so I can see the evidence of the goodness of God. Because when you go back and you see what the Lord has done for you, it strengthens your faith for what he is still doing. Number four, pray specifically about the fear. Just be honest, have a conversation with your Father. Let him know, Father, I am afraid of being judged. Lord, I am afraid of getting this wrong. Lord, I am afraid people will think I don't know what I'm talking about. Because when you name the fear, it loses the power it had when it was sitting in your mind. Number five, act before you feel already. Faith without action is dead. Acting in faith means moving before you feel completely certain. Moses didn't go to Pharaoh because he suddenly felt confident. He went because God told him to. Confidence usually comes after the action, not before. We move first, then confidence begins to grow. And here are your practical steps for this week. Step number one, name the fear. Take a journal or a piece of paper and you write down the one step in your calling that you've been avoiding. Then you write the fear that has been delaying you. Ask yourself, what are you actually afraid of? Is it fear, criticism, rejection, visibility, or inadequacy? Step two, do it afraid. You set a 20-minute timer for that particular task and you work on it. Not until it's perfect, but just until the timer runs out. You don't have to publish it. You don't have to show it to anyone. The goal here is just for you to prove to yourself that fear does not get to decide whether you move forward. Now, if you're serious about launching a side business that you feel excited about, one that will bring income to your home without requiring more hours that you simply don't have as a busy mom, I would love to support you. Because the truth is, most moms don't need more information. They need a simple plan, clear direction, and someone walking with them step by step. So this actually gets done. This month, I'm opening a small number of one-to-one spots inside my 90-day success story experience, a beta round where you will receive a very close guidance from me as we help you clarify your idea, build a simple offer, confidently put it out in the world, and begin attracting your first clients. The goal here is simple. You walk away with a real side business that is launched, aligned with your life, and positioned to start bringing in income. And because this is an early round, I am offering a significant beta discount plus flexible options, because I care much more about helping the right women get started than creating financial pressure. So if there's even a small part of you thinking, maybe this is my time, I invite you to book a free connection call below. No pressure, just a real conversation about where you are, what you feel called to build, and what it could look like to turn your God-given idea into a profitable, purpose-driven business over the next 90 days. And I would truly love to meet you, hear your vision, and see how we can bring this to life. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.